¿Cachai? Or do you understand? Fome or very boring. Pelolai or upper class girl. Penca, not cool. Pololo, boyfriend, are some of the expressions I know regarding the Chilean dialect. And I could continue for minutes. However, you know that it's not enough. That's why when I was in Chile in October last year, I bought this very fun and funny book, Speaking Chileno or Chilean, a guide to Chilean slang by Romey, an American. It was published a decade ago, can you believe that? By RIL Editores in Chile. It was in 2010. So, in 170 pages, this book started because of the author's personal experience living in Chile. The words that he had learned in his Spanish lessons were not useful in Chile. That's why his goal with this book was for people to communicate in an easier way and to have fun during the learning process. So this book is divided in different structures. In one of them, which is called How to Use This Guide, he explains that this is not an academic dictionary and there's no kind of scientific proof. There are very few technical expressions that sounds much more like a friend talking to you and giving you some advice. So the main elements that he identifies are vocabulary, grammar, pronunciation, and pitch. And he is really right when he says that the last one, pitch, is the one that takes the most time to get and to acquire. He attempts to write. However, that's not enough in my opinion, even though he does it well when he tells us that the pitch is higher in Chile than in any other countries. About grammar, he shows some examples of how Chilean Spanish is different from standard. For example, the use of the preposition en instead of por when he says in la tarde, in the afternoon. This is a coincidence with my country, Peru. As a Peruvian, I have used this book as a kind of mirror, so to find so many similarities and differences. Another coincidence is some redundant expressions like sube arriba. Sube is go up, and arriba is up, so go up, up. Baja abajo. Baja is go down, go downstairs, for example. Go down, down. This is another similarity with colloquial Peruvian Spanish. And also the very frequent use of diminutives. Ito for the masculine and ita for the feminine. For example, casa, house. Casita, little house. Something very different, on the other hand, was conjugation. If you say, you understand me, ¿me entiendes? However, a Chilean says something like, ¿me entendí? Even the word soy, which in standard Spanish is am, soy peruano, I am Peruvian. Soy in Chile might be are, as in you are. You are stubborn. Soy porfiado. Something like that. So it's really strange, but funny at the same time. About pronunciation, the very title of this book, Chileno, the sound changes to sh. So instead of Chile, they say Chile. Tendido becomes tendido, patada becomes patá, amasado becomes amasao, patudo becomes patudo, etc. Well, on page 41, the list, let's say the dictionary, begins. Many phrases and words from A to Z. I have counted 2039, excluding some special boxes regarding vocabulary on, different topics. Let's say drink, food, friends, etc. Well, let's see some example. In the case of the letter A, I have counted 296 phrases and words, and I have found 19 examples of coincidences with my country. That words and phrases that mean the same. For example, a calzón quitado. It means no holds barred, holding nothing back, straight to the point. So when you talk to me a calzón quitado, it means like that, straight to the point, and that's exactly the same as in Peru. There are another five expressions that are totally different. For example, agarrado, in love with to perhaps to the point of being blind about the other person, extremely wrapped up with someone, which in Peru is something very different because agarrado is a man who is well built, you know. Seven expressions that are rather different. If I am angry with someone, I tell him, vete a freír monos, go fry monkeys. And in Chile, it means anda a freír monos al África, go fry monkeys in Africa. To be honest, I know that this expression is not so frequent in contemporary Peruvian Spanish, and I guess that this is the same situation as in Chile. And I have found some curious or funny expressions like al tiro. I remember when I was in Santiago between the 8th and the 12th, I heard these expressions very frequently in restaurants, in supermarkets. Al tiro, let me check. It means immediately, right away. Yeah, in Peru we prefer to say al toque, which also occurs in Chile. And other expressions, andar con los días R, andar CMR, well, I will not tell you the meanings because that's kind of taboo. Well, so even though the book on itself is not enough to talk or to speak like a Chilean, if there's no practice or immersion, it will be very, very difficult or impossible. It seems rather curious and necessary if you want to understand or maybe to adapt to this dialect. Not the accent so much, but the dialect. I remember the boy who worked in a restaurant in Valparaiso where I ate seafood. He was so kind, respectful, easygoing, though sincerely I understood him very, very little. Or the female owner of a restaurant where I ate porotos con rienda and cazuela de vacuno, with her, honest smile, her warm voice, who told me, "Welcome to my country." Or the woman who took a long time to try to explain to me how to get to the cable car at the hill, San Cristobal. So if you go to Santiago and you go shopping at the airport, it would be a very, very nice idea to get this book. However, don't do as me, which I got it minutes before coming back to Lima, but do it as soon as you arrive in Chile. So you will not regret it at all. Bye bye.